Alright guys, gotten a couple questions recently regarding how I go about the specifics about how I go about clearing with a single hand clearing my garment. Most of the time you guys see me wearing t-shirt, jeans. However, we are getting into the colder months, so one of the other questions that I'm going to address is multiple layers. So single hand clear, one of the primary methods that I use is I take that inside thumb. I'm going to actually come in under the shirt, so I'm just going to sweep under the shirt. It's going to come up and around. Once I do, my hand actually slides down the shirt, and you'll notice that the shirt is not falling back in the way because I'm actually trapping it with the inside of my wrist here. So this comes up, I clear up, basically I'm doing like a big hook motion. My hand comes down, I get the purchase on the pistol, I can now come up to retention, punch out to compression, and then extension, and then back in. So I come here, up around, get my purchase, and I come back in. Just over and over, I just practice that nice and slow. Notice the shirt doesn't fall back in the way. And then I come back down. One of the other ways that I do this, depending on what I'm wearing, also depending on the situation, if I'm actively engaged, maybe I'm hunched over or I'm grappling with somebody and I don't have the ability to clear from the front, one of the other ways that I do it is I take 4 fingers into the shirt. You always want to go behind where the handle is. Alright, so if my handle is right here, I want to grab long about the 3 o'clock. So I'm going to grab inside that 3 o'clock, come up and around. I want to twist that shirt around. Now I'm going to do the same exact thing, trapping with the inside of my forearm. I'm trapping that garment. So this comes up, I twist that shirt, I trap, come to the pistol, and then I can come to retention, compression, extension, back in. So once again, I come up, twist around, grab that pistol, retention, compression, extension, and then back in. One more time. Grab the shirt, up, around, trap, drop down onto the pistol, compression or retention, compression, extension, back in. All right. So practice slowly. The body mechanics of this is something that has to be developed. It's not something that you're going to be able to just get in there and then go immediately. You're going to have to get in there and practice it. Take your time. Trapping, coming up, around. One of the problems that you're going to have is if you're trying to go too fast, too quick, is you're going to come up, you're going to grab a handful of shirt with the pistol. Now it's not completely bad because I can always punch out and that shirt will come off. That's not necessarily a problem, but it's obviously not ideal. So I want to come into the front, up and around, trap, get a good purchase on that pistol, come up to retention, compression, extension, back in. I know that there are some people who kind of advocate grabbing that pistol and coming directly from that retention position and coming basically upwards on this angle because that's the path of least resistance. That's fine if I have that ability. However, from a combative's perspective, I need to be able to slide in and out of those 3 stages, from retention, compression, extension, back to compression, back to retention, because if I'm working in a combatives type environment, there are people who are coming into my range, they are going out of my range. They're constantly moving in and out of that range, and I may need to be able to punch out completely where I'm actually punching out, and then as people are moving in and out of my range, I may come in, I may punch back out, I may come in retention, I may be able to block, come back to compression, back to extension. So the idea is I need to flow in and out of those various different ranges. So now, with an additional cover garment, my rule of thumb, and this is just me, is that your pistol should not be covered by any more than a single layer. So in this particular case, jacket is going to be worn open. I can still do my thumb to clear, coming up and around because my shirt will move my jacket out of the way with me. However, Drawing from the rear is going to be a problem because now I have multiple layers of garments to get to. It's going to be that much more difficult. So in this particular type of situation, maybe I were carrying in a 3 o'clock type scenario. In this particular type of situation, I would probably tuck my shirt. I'm not going to go through the process of tucking my shirt in, but I would tuck my shirt and allow the jacket to be the cover garment. Grab 4 fingers inside the jacket. I sweep my thumb to the inside as I bring it back. Trap the same way that we do with the shirt. I'm trapping with that forearm so that my jacket doesn't fall back in the way. Trap, get my purchase, come up, and now I've got a single hand clear. Everything is done using those same principles. Grab 4, sweep back, come back in. Everything is done the same way. So right now I've got inside the waistband. Outside the waistband would be the exact same way. I'm not a real big fan of the 4 o'clock or the chow time position, simply because from a combatives perspective, that thing is on my back. If I end up on the ground, if I end up grappling, this thing is where I can't get to it, and I'm not particularly keen on that. But it's also in a place that is that much more difficult for me to defend in the event that this guy is somewhere in the grappling match figures out that I've got a pistol on me and he begins to go for it. Me retaining from back here is increasingly difficult. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm covered by no more than 1 layer. Think about the type of environment that you're going to be in. If I'm in a situation where I have a suit coat and I'm maybe going to be taking a heavy coat off or something like that, make sure that you're wearing some sort of garment to where when I take this off inside of a restaurant, I've got a type of garment that I can cover my pistol back up with. So something to think about. You guys think about it. Just understand that you're going to have to dress around how you're carrying and based on the type of environment that you're going to be in. So, all right, hope that was helpful. You guys train hard.